Welcome to the Known Victory Church YouTube channel. We are so glad that you found us today. We exist to make Jesus known and to be a place that anyone can call home. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe, like, and share these messages so we can truly make Jesus known in our homes, cities, and across the world. We pray that this message impacts you and helps you to grow closer to Jesus.
Again, if you're new, you might not know me. I'm Dustin. I'm the lead pastor here, and it's good that you are joining us here this beautiful Sunday, a time to worship together and spend time together. And I've been loving seeing just before church so many people just talking and getting to know each other better. And even after church, I've been really enjoying just seeing the connections that are starting to take place. And we even had our first Mama Monday at our house, and we had 3 moms come. There's like 8 kids in my house. It was amazing. And so if you are a mom, I would encourage you to come on out to that. It's not my own home, but it's going to be awesome. But, last week we started a new series. Someone told me that it said Sunday morning faith, but it's actually called Monday morning faith. And so I fixed it. And so, Monday morning faith. We started this series last week where we're talking about how our faith has to be more than just Sundays, how it has to actually go into the future and actually has to go into Monday morning. And talking about how do we actually live out our faith at work? How do we actually live it out? How do we let, and the message last week was called Faith in Work Boots. And how do we have faith when we put our work boots on? That when we see our coworkers, they actually notice that we actually have Jesus in us, that we actually are carrying something different. And so we talked about, having faith in work boots and how, again, our faith isn't just supposed to happen in our Sunday shoes or our Sunday best. It's also supposed to happen on Monday morning when we actually head into the office or head into work. And today I want to have a new message called Integrity on the Clock. And I know some of the bosses and maybe managers are saying amen. And so the rest of us might be saying, oh boy, right? Oh boy. But as followers of Jesus, we need to be people of integrity everywhere we go. We need to carry integrity every single place we go, no matter that's at home, at work, at church, in the grocery store, in our car. We need to have and carry integrity every single place that we go. It means integrity everywhere. And the Bible is pretty clear when it comes to integrity. And this is what it says in Proverbs chapter 10, verse 9. It says this: people with integrity walk safely, but those who followed crooked paths will be exposed. I love Proverbs because it really just shares a lot of wisdom with us. But people of integrity will walk safely, but those who follow crooked paths will be exposed. See, we often see this as truth. We often see leaders and pastors and people, if you ever notice this, people are falling. People are falling into maybe the things in their life that are causing them the most trouble. And we're seeing this kind of become rampant in society. We're seeing politicians and pastors and leaders and CEOs who are losing their positions because they weren't walking with integrity. It's important for us as followers of Jesus to actually show our faith even when we're at work. Even if we're in environments where it's not maybe the best, or maybe even when we're in environments that are challenging for us, we need to still be people of integrity. Because the truth is that if we're not people of integrity, we might see a lot of the celebrities or the pastors or the famous people falling, but we're also seeing people falling in our churches every single day. People falling at work. And I want to encourage all of us, let's be people who carry and walk with integrity every single place that we go. We need to stand firm in who we are and not let the stresses of the week change how we act and how we treat those around us. So I have some characters. It's going to be kind of a unique message today, but I have some characters that I want to introduce us to today, and characters that we all need to be like, and some characters that we don't want to be like at all. And I used some names, and so this is your name. I apologize. But the first person I want to introduce us to today is Gossiping Gail. Gossiping Gail. You probably have someone at work maybe you can really look at as Gossiping Gail. Someone at work who always knows what's going on in everybody's life, and they're really good at telling everybody about it. All right, this is this Gossiping Gail, the people who you can't really trust them. The ones that the ones I'm talking about, they have the freshest news about your coworkers. They know all the details, and they thrive on knowing what's going on in everybody's life, even if they're not actually supposed to know. They're constantly searching for the juiciest information, and they love to spread it. Even if it isn't true, they love to be in the middle of drama and getting everyone against each other. Maybe you know somebody in your office or at your site who's like this. They're just gossiping about everything and everybody week after week, day after day, and you're kind of getting tired of it. Again, someone who loves to spread information. See, but the thing about gossip is dangerous. In a workplace, in a work context, it can create a toxic culture where people are afraid to share what's going on in their lives, afraid to share their ideas because they're afraid that everybody is going to find out. See, gossip is something we all need to be aware of at work. And you know what I think? One of the hardest things for us to stay away from oftentimes is gossip. Why? Because we kind of love when we know what's going on, even if we're not supposed to. If you're overhearing someone talking about what something's going on and now you have that information. It's something we all need to be aware of and willing to shut down when we see it. And if we see it happening, or even if we're a part of it, we need to take a look at our own lives and know, hey, is gossip a part of my life? It is. We need to try and shut it down and actually change how we act and how we think. I think we can all look back on moments in our own lives where gossip has hurt us. We can tell all the eyes in the room are on us. Even if we thought people shouldn't even know what's going on in our lives. We know we've had moments where everyone knows and we're like, how did they even find out? Maybe news broke before you were ready to share it, or maybe a family emergency came up. They didn't want to be public and now everyone is talking about it. We all have these moments where we've been hurt by gossip, where gossip has tore us down. So instead of being a gossiping Gale, we need to be an uplifting Uma. Uplifting Uma. See, being like Uma is better than being like Gale. See, gossip will destroy, but we're supposed to encourage one another and build each other up and uplift one another. This is what the writer of Ephesians said about it in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful, so that your words will be an encouragement to those who hear them. We're supposed to, even at work, even when we're on the clock, we're supposed to be people of integrity, that our words are helpful and good and building and encouraging and uplifting those around us. See, I think of some of us, we've gotten so caught up in the drama or the gossip at work that we've actually stopped encouraging those around us and our coworkers and our bosses and the people around us. We've got so caught up in knowing the story, and sometimes we know the story and it actually skews how we treat other people. But we need to be people more like Uma, where we're encouraging people every single moment of every single day. Gossip can destroy great relationships and great environments. It can be foul and even abusive. That in everything we say needs to be good and helpful. And I look at my own life, I know how many times in my life some of the things I'm saying aren't good and helpful. Some of the things I'm saying aren't actually helping. They're actually not good. And I'm not actually building people up. I'm actually tearing people down with my words. I know there's moments this happens in my life, even where I'm gossiping or I'm caught up in the drama, that comes up at work. If we want to have our faith go past Sunday and move into Monday, we need to let gossip go and being people who are uplifting and encouraging. People that are uplifting one another. To be an encouragement with what we say and to build people up rather than tear people down. See, to have integrity on the clock means to stop being like Gale and start being like Uma. Uplifting everywhere we go. Maybe this week, you know of someone who's having a hard time. Maybe you know of someone at work who's maybe lost a family member, or they're having a hard week. I want to encourage you. Just send them a message or do something for them this week. Be an uplifting person this week. Don't get caught up in the drama or the gossip, but actually love and show those people you care. Maybe take someone out for lunch. Maybe send somebody a text message. Maybe call somebody. And I know that I needed that myself this week. Beth and I had a bit of a challenging week as we've been continuing to deal with some issues from our past facility, as well as this past Monday, our almost 2-year-old daughter, on Monday night, she broke her collarbone. And so she was at the doctor and she got x-rays and she's recovering from this collarbone. And so in a lot of ways, we had a challenging week, Beth and I. And then I got a message from someone in our church. It was from Megan, my sister-in-law, Megan Donater, just encouraging us and encouraging me and encouraging us about the church. And I'm telling you, I needed it. because I was having a hard week, especially when it came to just all the things going on with the church. And I was like, man, like God, like I need something. And then, someone texted me, and I'm telling you, I really needed it, and it really was helpful for me. I think we often have times where we think, oh man, I should probably call them. I should text them. Maybe I should invite them out for coffee. Yeah, that's where the action ends, is just in the thought. Let's be people who we know someone needs help. We go up and we show them, we encourage them. There's been no time in my life when I felt I need to encourage somebody and I did it and they were mad at me. It's never happened. It's always been impactful for them in their life. Who do you need to encourage this week? Who is it in your life, maybe at work or your coworkers, whatever, that you need to send in a message of encouragement to this week? And the next person we don't want to be like this is Lazy Larry. Lazy Larry. Maybe you have a Lazy Larry at work, or maybe you have a Lazy Larry in your home. And to prevent us from becoming a gossiping Gale, we're not going to talk about it, who they are. Lazy Larry. Someone who's unmotivated, someone who procrastinates, someone who's unorganized and avoidant, and someone who's content with minimal effort. We have people around us every day that this is how they live their life. And to be honest with you, of all the things I'm going to talk about today, this is the one that actually speaks to me the most. Because there's so many times in my own life where I'm unmotivated. There's so many times in my life where I procrastinate. Especially procrastinate the tasks that I don't really want to do. I always leave those for last, and then that means I leave them for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks because I just don't really want to do them. And in my own life, I've had to put a lot of effort in order to push past these things, because it's been a part of my life, this idea of laziness in my own life, and it's something that I've had to push through. But see, the thing about laziness, it can cause really big issues for us at home and at work. When laziness is what's motivating us and what's driving us. In some cases, they can even cause us maybe to lose our jobs, or not be on the list for promotions or raises, or maybe cause some issues in our relationships because, the things that I know I'm supposed to do, I'm leaving them and I'm not doing them, and I'm not doing them and I'm not doing them. But see, part of having integrity on the clock is being a hard worker. Being one who will do their job and do their job well. So we can't be a lazy Larry. You know what we have to do? We have to be a hardworking Hank. Right? We have to be hardworking. We have to be someone who shows up to work. Maybe we show up on time, maybe even a little bit early, and we're prepared for the day. And when we're on the clock, we're working hard and we're doing what we're supposed to do. And we're not trying to take as many breaks as we can. We're trying to actually accomplish the tasks that we're supposed to do, to be a hard-working Hank. In 2 Timothy 2:15, it says this: work hard so you can present yourself to God and receive his approval. Be a good worker. One who does not need to be ashamed and who is correctly explains the word of truth. We have to be working hard. To actually work hard wherever we are. And I know sometimes we're in environments where we don't want to work hard. Maybe we're not treated right. Maybe the compensation isn't where we wish it was. I think that's a big problem a lot of us look at. This compensation isn't really worth the effort or the hard work. But see, I believe, and I truly believe this, that as followers of Jesus, people should look at us and see us for how hard we're working. Because as we talked about last week, when we're working hard, we're not working for money. We're not working for the approval of men. What we're working for Jesus, and we're serving him every single place that we go. Any task that we do, we can do it as if we're worshiping and loving and serving Jesus. See, I've gotten so much better in this area in my life. I'm not the same worker that I used to be when I had my first job at Canadian Tire in high school. I worked in the what's it called? The plant center, the garden center. And I used to climb the mountain of peat moss every day and try and hide in the back because it was kind of comfy. Now, I worked in the garden center, and I am very allergic to flowers and plants, pollen. So I had horrible allergies, and I'm telling you, I did not work very hard. And they were well aware, and I could tell by my compensation. I was making $10.50 an hour. And then when I finished high school, it was still $10.50 an hour. And I was like, this is either their problem or mine, But I've had to learn to be a hard worker. I've had to put in effort. I've had to change my mindset. See, for me, it has to be more than a paycheck. It has to be working for the Lord and for my family. It's a way to provide for my family. Of course it is, but it's also a way that we can worship by actually working hard and being people of integrity when we're on the clock. It's a way to just work hard. And my prayer is that everything that I put my hand to will be prosperous. And I don't mean that in an abundance of wealth way, but I mean that in an abundance of goodness and God's faithfulness and God's favor wherever I put my hands. And whatever I do, we'll actually do it well. We got to be more like Hank. Maybe this is something you struggle with in your own life, is this idea of laziness. Maybe you're more like Larry than you are like Hank. So what can you do this week to continue to move into the right direction when it comes to this area in your life? Maybe you need to actually get out of bed with your alarm. Sometimes I snooze my alarm more times than I can count. Maybe there's things in your life, maybe there's tasks that you don't like to do. Maybe you could accomplish those tasks first at home or at work. How can you become more like Hank this week? How can you actually have this work ethic and build it up inside of you? Because it is possible. Because I know for me, it's been a big part of my story, and I've had to work extremely hard in my own life to actually have a better work ethic. And the next one that we don't want to be like is deceitful Derek. See, deceitful Derek is not someone we want to be like, nor is it someone oftentimes we really want to spend a lot of time with, right? Deceitful Derek, maybe you got someone at work who's always fibbing, always being deceitful, always hiding stuff, always changing things, always, trying to get more money, whatever it is. Maybe you work with somebody who's kind of like Derek, who's deceitful. The business owners who are always trying to get a better deal or contract by maybe changing the numbers or how things work, trying to get the best deal they can, even if it actually isn't truthful, even if it is a little bit deceitful. Or maybe the coworker who's always sick. When in fact, you know what? To be honest, maybe they're just hungover and tired. Right? There's these people we work with that this is a part of who they are. And the problem is that sometimes this seeps into who we are. We don't want to be deceitful Derek. Or maybe the manager who's always promising more money or a different position, but as the years goes on, you can tell it's not actually going to happen. Or maybe the coworker who clocks in and doesn't actually start work right away, takes their time in the morning. But the truth about deceit is that it will eventually become known. Eventually you will get caught. Eventually you won't be able to hide it anymore. See, I think for oftentimes lying or deceit is actually just a mechanism for us to try and protect ourselves in the moment. And it might protect us in the moment, but eventually it's going to open it up. It's going to become a whole lot worse for us when it actually comes into the light. So rather than being a deceitful Derek, we need to be a truthful Trevor. See, the truth is greater than a lie. But very often telling the truth is harder than telling a lie, right? How hard is it? Did I spell something wrong? Yeah, it's not Derek, Trevor, okay? If you were taking notes, write Trevor instead, okay? Truthful Trevor. Do you know what's hard, though, is telling the truth oftentimes. If you're at a moment where you were stuck in this place of I can either lie or I can tell the truth. We've all had moments, probably every day, where we're face to face with this. But telling the truth is so much more powerful than telling the lie. Even though it's harder. Oftentimes the hardest things are the best things. We believe that lying will keep us out of trouble, and we learn this at early ages. We learn that if we lie to our parents, or we lie to our teachers, or we lie to our friends, we're going to be okay. It actually protects us. And to be honest, you know what happens sometimes? When we tell a lie, no one ever finds out. There's a lot of lies I've told. There's a lot of times I've been deceitful in my life that no one's found out about, right? There's never been an investigation into the lies I've told, Well, we believe that it'll protect us from wrath, and we believe that it'll protect us from punishment. But I know a lot of the parents that I talk to, you know what we say? We say, man, I'd rather my kid be truthful. My kid's probably going to get less of a punishment if they're truthful than if they do something and they lie about it. They're going to get a bigger punishment in that context. Because I'd rather my kids tell the truth. Even if it's hard. I want my kids and I want me to learn how to tell the truth even in the hardest moments. In Ephesians 4:25, it says this, so stop telling lies. Let us tell our neighbors the truth, for we are all parts of the same body. Stop telling lies. We need to be people of truth, especially at work. Let us tell our neighbors, let us tell our coworkers, let us tell our bosses the truth. And the truth is sometimes very hard to tell. It's not always easy to be a person of integrity, but it's so, so important. I want to ask you a question. Is there something in your life that maybe you need to start being truthful about this week? There's something in your life maybe you need to be more truthful with your boss about. Or maybe there's something in your life you need to be more truthful with your spouse about. Or maybe you need to be more truthful with your parents about. I don't know what it might be for you, but there might be something that you've been hiding and holding on to for so long. It might be time to bring it into the light and see change come in your life. Rather than hiding it, it's time to bring it to the light. This is part of having integrity on the clock, is by being fully honest, even when it's hard. I know most bosses will say, man, I'd rather you be truthful. Even if you make a mistake, I'd rather deal with the mistake than deal with a mistake and you lying to me. And the last one, have integrity on the clock. The last person we don't want to be like is compromising Connie. Maybe you know Connie. The one who claims to be a follower of Jesus, yet their actions at work don't follow that life. The one that will do anything to be liked or promoted. Compromise their core values and their core beliefs in order to get what they want. Maybe you're looking at your own life and maybe that's a part of your story. You've compromised so much to get where you are. See, but the truth about it all is that our faith is more important than our promotion. Standing firm in our faith, even when it's hard, not compromising our values, beliefs, and systems just so we can get a better deal. Just so we can get the promotion. We can't compromise our values as followers of Jesus at work, even when we're on the clock. Sometimes you might be asked to do something that you don't agree with, or something that you might even find unethical. But our job is not to really do what our bosses say all the time, but our job is to stand firm in our faith and our beliefs, even if no one else is going to follow us. You know what's really hard is to tell your boss, you're wrong. That's hard. Or I don't agree with this. That can be very hard. But see, our job as followers of Jesus is to bring Jesus into the workplace. To bring Jesus to our coworkers. And you know what? You know what that means sometimes? We might not be liked. People might not like us because we follow Jesus. People might not like us because of how we act and how we respond and how we do things. People might not like it. But we have to stop compromising our beliefs. So rather than being compromising Connie, we need to be more like unyielding Ulysses. That's a name you haven't heard in at least 300 years. Unyielding Ulysses. We need to be unyielding in our faith. The ability to stand firm even if no one else is standing. That we can have integrity even if our boss isn't showing integrity, even if our company's not showing integrity, even if our leaders aren't showing integrity. We need to be the ones to show integrity even if no one else is. To be unyielding in our faith. Say, I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change what I believe just to get this deal done or just to make this friendship or just to do this. I'm going to have my faith be unyielding no matter where I go. I will stand strong and stand firm in my faith. To be unyielding. That if we see injustice, if we see brokenness, we stand up to injustice. If we see gossip, we can put an end to it. If we see deceit, we can actually bring truth into the moment. Do you know what this is going to require? It's going to require strength and courage. This is what it says. 1 Corinthians 16, verse 13 says this, be on guard. Stand firm in the faith. Be courageous. Be strong. If we want to be unyielding in our faith, we need to stand firm and be courageous and be strong. Be on guard, stand firm in the faith. Don't let the world sway us or push us around. but be courageous and be strong. We need to be more like Ulysses and be unyielding in our faith, not compromising our beliefs. I want to invite Daniel to come up and play. We need to stand firm. We got to have integrity when we're on the clock. And when we think about the clock, we often only think about work, but the truth is, sometimes when, for me, I clock out of work, you know what I clock into? I clock into my family. I clock into spending time with my family. And you know what? I've shared this before. For a lot of us, I have 2 young kids. Oftentimes I'm working, right when they're getting up until, almost dinner time. I get home, maybe I'm in my basement, but I'll come upstairs, 5 o'clock, 4:30. And my kids go to bed by 7:30. I have 3 hours a day with my kids. And we need to be people who can stand firm in our faith when we clock into work, when we clock into church, when we clock into a home. To be people that aren't deceitful. To be people who show integrity. People who stand firm, who are unyielding in our faith. We're not compromising our beliefs. We're not compromising the truth. We have to have integrity. See, for some of us, it might be easy to have integrity at work, but for others of us, having integrity at home is a lot harder. Or maybe for a lot of us, we're really good at showing integrity when we're at home, but when we go to work, integrity is not even something that's on our lips or on our minds. Or maybe we're really good at showing integrity and putting on our Sunday shoes, but as soon as our work boots go on, our faith kind of goes out the window. Maybe there's some things in your life that you've compromised your faith. It might be time to put those guardrails back up in your life. Time to practice integrity in every single area. That if you've compromised something, you can actually take the step back. Time to stand firm in our faith. Do you find your integrity goes with you on Monday morning? Tomorrow morning when you get up for work, is integrity going to go with you? Is your faith strong on Monday when you clock in? See, our integrity has to follow us everywhere we go. Not just the places we like it, not just the places that is easy, not just if we like our job, not just if our boss is nice to us, not if we're not being compensated well, not just if our jobs are on the line. But we're called to be people of integrity always. Where's your integrity right now? When you look at, even when you maybe think about going to work, where's your integrity when you're going to work? Are you living your life? Are you showing this love of Jesus? Are you working hard? Are you not compromising? Where is your integrity right now? Are you finding yourself maybe gossiping every day about your coworkers or your boss or maybe even your customers? Maybe you find yourself unmotivated and procrastinating at work, and you're like, God, you don't even like it. Some of us are like, I don't even want this to be a part of my life, but here I am, and I'm unmotivated. I don't even want to do this. Or maybe you're seeing deceit become a big part of your conversations, where lying has just become such a part of your story that sometimes we start to believe it. Or maybe are we compromising our faith on Monday morning for the sake of a job? These are the things we need to try and stay away from, right? Stay away from gossiping. Right? We don't want to be like gossiping Gail. We want to be an uplifting Uma. We don't want to be like lazy Larry, right? But we want to be a hardworking Hank. We don't want to be a deceitful Derek, right? But we want to be a truthful Trevor, someone who tells the truth. And we don't want to be compromising like Connie. We want to be unyielding. Those are the things we need to try and stay away from, and the things that we need to try and pursue. Pursue truth. Pursue an unyielding faith. Pursue an attitude that's hardworking. Someone whose integrity is strong no matter where we go. Our takeaway today is this, is live with integrity at work, by avoiding gossip, laziness, deceit, and compromise, and instead being uplifting, hardworking, truthful, and steadfast in our faith. Let's be steadfast in our faith. I know a lot of us are probably working in positions and situations that we don't really like. That happens. I'm not saying stick around in an environment that's like abusive and like horrible. That's not what I'm saying. Because you're valuable as a human. But at the same time, God has us, I believe, truly has us where we are for a reason and a purpose. Even if we don't like it, our job is still to be people of integrity. Again, even if our boss isn't being a person of integrity, coworkers, customers, whatever, our job is to be people that carry integrity with us wherever we go. That as we go into work tomorrow, you know what? Let's share the gospel. And you know what sharing the gospel looks like? Is being people who don't compromise. You know what sharing the gospel looks like? It's being people who tell the truth even when it's difficult. You know what sometimes it means to share the gospel is to live a life that is so full of integrity that people start to question why we do and say and the things that we do. To show the love of Jesus wherever we go, that again, as we're going to work, our job is to work as if we're working and serving Jesus himself. I think for some of us, that might change how we work. I know if Jesus was coming to my house, I'd probably stop procrastinating cleaning my bathroom. I'd probably just go do it because Jesus is coming over. And it's the same way that it's serving my family and serving Jesus. What if we were to serve our family the same way as if we were serving Jesus? Let's be people of integrity that don't compromise our faith, but have this unyielding faith where we can stand steadfast even if no one else is standing. That we build our house on the rock, that our foundation is strong. And I believe we're going to see amazing things happen in our own lives. Even at work, I believe that we can see revival break out at work. That if people are struggling, let's be people who encourage. Uplift people. Your boss might be having a hard day. Go buy him a donut. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like donuts. Maybe like buy him a pizza or something healthy, a kale. I don't really know what kale is like fully. Like I know it, but like I don't know. Do you call it a kale? Probably not. Like kale salad, let's say. Maybe they like kale salad. Maybe they like coffee, tea. Like I don't know. Like send an encouraging note this week to somebody you know struggling. Take someone out for lunch or coffee or. But I believe, I truly believe that as followers of Jesus, wherever we go, again, integrity should follow us. And I believe as bosses, we should be the bosses that people love to work for. I believe as employees, we should be the employees that everyone is looking for. Because we're carrying something that they might not be, and that's the love and passion and power and courage and strength of Jesus. Let me pray for us. God, I thank you. God, that you've called us to where we are for a reason and for a purpose. And God, I pray that we will show integrity when we go. God, I pray that you will help us be those who work hard. God, I pray that we'll be those who tell the truth. God, I pray that we'll be those who are uplifting and encouraging everyone we see. God, I pray that we will be those who stand firm and steadfast and we have an unyielding faith. God, that people will see you in us this week as we go into work, as we clock in, as we put on our work boots. God, I pray that people will see you in us and see your love. And God, I pray that you give us that courage and and strength that we need, that we can be on guard, we can stand firm in our faith, we can be courageous, and we can be strong. God, I pray that you will do that for us in our own lives. In Jesus' name, amen.